Welcome to another YouTube video. Let's do a market breakdown, starting with the dollar. Let's start on the weekly time frame. Go to the monthly actually. So on the monthly, it's clear that this is the draw on liquidity rate. This bounce where we got price to rally up. It's trying to close this fair value gap. I'll jump down to the weekly. All of this is an imbalance. All of these green candles are coming back to be rebalanced because it was just one-sided. It was a PC for like half the year, well, from September till December for like a quarter. So we could still be bearish until we get through these levels. There's nothing really that we can bounce up to. But if you look at the daily, we have a CB over here. It's not a fair value gap. Changes to a different color. Oh, that's good. So I have a CB over there that I want to see giving price resistance. And then if I have to scale down, we have another fair value gap as well on the 4-hour time frame. So I'm expecting the market to come up, yeah, Monday, Tuesday, depending when we have news, and then drive lower, drive lower. I would only be bullish if we break through this high and create a fair value gap that we don't close and then going higher. Otherwise, bearish. Let's talk about one of my favorite pairs. Let's look at the weekly, at the monthly. So we're still in a bullish condition. We're still trading in unknown areas where price is going. Let's see. I want to see how price reacts at this daily outlook. At this daily outlook, because we slammed lower and now, but we went up to take up those highs on Friday. So if I look at it for the week, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, price was bearish for the week until we changed gears around Wednesday. So we do have a bullish fair value gap over here. So I just want to see how price reacts to this level. If price comes back down here on Monday, right, and respects this, then we obviously need to meet that as a target, the buy side liquidity. But it's clear that we're just closing this imbalance that we created on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Monday. Monday came up and then started dumping. So could have caught a sell on Tuesday. I didn't trade this at all. I traded US gold and US 500 last week. But nonetheless, this is looking like we're looking to go and close those gaps, this imbalance. And then I just want to see how price reacts when we get here. I want to see how price reacts when we get there. Let's look at gold. Starting with the monthly, gold is still bullish on the monthly time frame. Weekly time frame is bullish as well. Now, we are trading in highs, unknown highs. We've never traded this high before. So if we do continue bullish, I'll put that over there as an expected price run. So we heading towards the 3,000 mark. That's crazy. First time gold is ever this expensive. Right. And then areas of support, we have a bullish order block that we traded right through, and we created a fair value gap on Thursday. I believe I caught longs on Thursday. Wednesday, Thursday, and I was just targeting this price over here. So I was satisfied with that. It got me out of drawdown on my funded account. So yeah, happy days. I will also mark this level out on the daily as a breaker. Just make it straight, run it up to 50. Why is it a breaker? Because they sold here to take out these lows and then, you know, go through it with huge volatility. So you should just look at the breaker, right? We have a fair value gap. So I want to see price come back down here and close this imbalance and then hopefully go higher. And then this would be a beautiful target if we do get a bounce over there. Weekly, okay, I didn't really trade this. Close this. NAS, just take off these annotations here quickly. NASDAQ, we're in a bearish condition, right? I was looking at these lows, see if there's something more clear on the monthly. This level over here would be nice to see price get down to this level because we are hyper bearish, and it's easier to trade when the market it's obvious, right? You're not trying to guess, or it's obvious. It's tanking, right? So the first target, obviously, since we traded higher, would be last week's low. Let's try and make this straight. Previous weekly low. Okay, let's jump to the daily and see if there's any PD array. We have a CB over here. I'm sure if we zone into a lower market, we can see it. And we also have stops over here. Buy side liquidity. That would be nice if we can take it. And we have a fair value gap, right? So let me take this line away because the fair value, no, let me take this line away and use the fair value gap rather. Um, so if price gets up here, we want to see a proper rejection. We want to see a proper rejection over here. There will be a classic price action because we're taking out highs, right? So whoever's selling here will be stopped out. And then we need a market structure shift, take a low on the lower time frame, and then target these equal lows over here. These are relatively equal lows. So I'm bearish on that market. And looking at US 30, starting on the monthly, it's also in a bearish condition. Long term would be nice to find that to hit those levels. But you can see we took these out. So if it was one of those trades where you just went short from here, you would have been holding for, would have been a nice swing trade because it's headed in one direction. Just go back to the weekly. There's nothing really that's giving support. And here we have a fair value gap there, but it's really small. Let's try to look if there's something on the 4 hour. Okay, we don't have a fair value gap on the 4 hour, but I do have this bearish order block over here. So tomorrow I'll be looking at this level very closely. I want to see how price reacts over there. And once price gets down there, the first target would be this low, last week's low. And further than that, these lows over here would be a nice target. Once we crash through this last week's low, those lows would be nice target. So it's just a matter of waiting for confirmation, and then when the trade shows itself, take it with no fear. So obviously these three move in sync, and we are still diving bearish On a monthly time frame, we have this level over here, which is a breaker, bullish breaker. Coming down to the weekly, we have a fair value gap, weekly fair value gap. So we want to see how price reacts when it gets to that. So we have a CB as well, which is sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency, which is a form of a fair value gap because there's no candle that tried to balance this range just like this over here. But this is a fair value gap. This is a C, right? So the difference is there's a gap, wick, wick, no price in between. But here we do have a wick and a wick, but over here it was never balanced, right? So the candle had to come up like this and then go lower. Then it would have been a balanced range like over here, right? This is balanced. So those are the levels. And where to go? Let me see. Just to zoom out these equal lows over here. It would be a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful trade. But obviously the first target is previous week's low. Last week's low is the first beautiful target. So we have a high over here. We have a CB over there as well. Let me go into the 1 hour. The 1 hour, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Mondays price could be rebalanced, but the where we are right now is here. So it would be nice if we don't take out this high and maybe just poke above it and then come back lower. But Mondays, if price is bearish, Mondays tend to be very bullish, giving us the high of the week and then go lower. So I'm just looking at that. But overall, based on the higher time frame, I am super bearish. So that's the forecast for the week. Happy trading. Be safe out there.